is there's only 6 openings at a time. So somebody's calling him up and it's like, hey, I'll get rid of him for you, bro. You just say the word and we'll get our guy up out of here
I heard the
instantaneously for
rumor
you.
is the Miami. I heard the Dolphins is the rumor. I heard before we got it.
That's
the rumor.
I'm playing footsies, man, and just come out here. Just come out here if that's the case. Come out here and join the fight like the rest of us, because we're trying to get him down here. At least I am trying to get him in Atlanta. I don't know if anybody else wants him, but listen, why not a coach who's had proven winning success? I'm not saying he's going to be good, and when you don't know if any of these guys are going to be good when you ever bring them in, but at least I want somebody that looks like they've been good somewhere at some point in time.
Super Bowl. It doesn't hurt the resume, right? You took a team to the promised land and won, so that doesn't hurt at all.
Is there a better fit you think for him? Because he's picking the litter here for him, man. If he just close his eyes and choose a job, they're gonna be like, yes, man.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm looking at the Giants just because I'm 63 years old.
Hearing a lot of that.
Just because I'm 63, I want to go to a team that kind of already. I know I need to fix the defense, which I've done with my other teams. I've got the offensive set, right? I've got my number one receiver. I got my quarterback figured out. I got my running back figured out. I've got these pieces that I don't even have to worry about. He comes here, we just went over what we got to figure out, and that's a lot to say. That's a lot to go. So if I'm him, that's just me. For the Falcons, I really would like Kevin Stefanski. That's just my personal pick. I keep seeing like some other people like, no, I don't want him. Kevin he's young. Sign him to however many years he wants to be here. Arthur's a great owner. He's not like the Cleveland Brown owner. And just, give him a good GM. I would like to see that piece.
Why is Stefanski over Harbaugh? I like Harbaugh more than Stefanski myself.
Younger,
okay, just age. But Harbaugh's not old though, right? Can't you can coach for a long time, can't you?
I know. I'm just thinking if I'm Harbaugh, I'm 63 years old.
Age. Just go ahead and pull him up. 62 is that Harbaugh's age? 63?
Yeah, 62, 63. 60, yeah, he's in that age. Okay. If I'm thinking personally, I'm not saying no. I'm right there with you, man. If they sign him tomorrow, I'm like running out doing this. Yeah.
I'm ecstatic, man.
I'm sending a group chat text to my to the neighborhood saying we're doing a parade for John Harbaugh. So I'm just thinking, if it was me, if I'm that age, I would rather go to a situation where those three things are figured out, and I can work on the thing I'm good at. Like I'm good at fixing defenses.
So if you look at the teams that if you look at the Browns, the Giants, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Falcons, the Titans, and the Raiders. So you look at a couple of these teams here, 3 of them, maybe 4, because the Raiders, but with the Raiders picking first, they become a team that's going to be is presumed to have a quarterback, right? So if the Raiders weren't picking in those top picks, you might think that he's going to have no quarterback experience. But to be honest, if you're looking at all these teams, this is what puts us on the outside looking in. Like, because there's only 2 teams on this list with absolute uncertainty at quarterback, and that is the Falcons and the Cardinals. Because
I would say the Browns
have dart.
The
Giants have the dart. I think the Browns have Shador, so they have somebody. Like if they're going into if they go into next season, because Shador's shown glimpses. So if they go into next season, at least they have a guy in their starting position. And if you believe enough in the guy, you say, hey, at least somebody's there. Whereas with the Cardinals and us, nobody's there. If Kurt leaves and if Kyler doesn't come back, we don't know if the Cardinals are really going to be done with the Kyler Murray.
They're done. Come on, man. They were putting him in IR before they're giving him the fake IR.
If they're really done, then with Kyler, they don't have anybody there. But if the Raiders have, let's just put Mendoza as the first pick. If the Raiders know they're going to have Mendoza, that's at least exciting. You don't know if he's going to be good or not, but at least it's exciting. You still have Cam Ward there from last year with Tennessee. I don't think they're not going to pull a Will Levis on him. I don't think. I don't think they're going to move off of him. So
you don't move off.
You have those 4 teams at least have somebody at quarterback, whereas we have nobody. And the Cardinals, if Kyler leaves, there's nobody. So I actually, as I'm talking through this, depressing myself a little bit more about our chances at getting him. Because why would you come here? And I mean, we have great skill players, great organization.
We do. We have a good defense.
You got to have that quarterback figured out, in my opinion, in the NFL. You just got to have it figured out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he want to come here and start that over. You know, he's like in a win mode age, right? Where Kevin, you can come in and go, hey.
Do you feel like it's win mode with any of these teams though? Like all these teams suck, bro.
No, I'm just saying, right? You have the blueprint with the Giants, right? You have pieces, like you have number ones there.
Yeah,
like Cleveland, you have question marks. Cardinals, you have question marks. I mean, and even if the Raiders pick first, like where they get the kid from Indiana,
I kind of like that. If the Raiders they get the kid. So let's say the Raiders get Mendoza, right? They don't have a perfect team because they still lacking in the wide receiver room. But if they got Genty, let's say they get Mendoza, they got Genty, they got Bowers, and then they have Crosby there still. I think you have you're starting to get cooking there. With the right coach, you're starting to get cooking there a little bit. They would have to get the wide receiver right, but let's say they get the wide receiver in there now. All of a sudden, the Raiders can turn that thing around in one season if they had to.
Right.
It's just the fact that they're the Raiders and they just tend to kind of get in their way a lot. So we don't expect that to happen, but it can happen. I mean,
and right now with Ty projecting, so now they have a pick of the litter, right? They have Ty. They've got Dante and they've got Mendoza sitting. Like you got three guys kind of pick from there. You know which one you want to go for to be your franchise quarterback, or hope to be your franchise quarterback, I should say.
It's true. Makes it a lot more interesting, unfortunately, for my Tide, but it does make it more interesting here for the Raiders. So, what is? Do you think New York is one and done? Like you take that job, man. Like as soon as you get that phone call, just go ahead and pick it out. Why even meet with these other teams? Because I think he's meeting with us, isn't he?
He's meeting with us.
Going through formalities at this point.
I mean, yeah, I think he should definitely go and meet with everybody. Because I mean, listen, we have a defense. That's the thing. It's like New York does not have.
We have skill players too. We have an attractive
skill players,
but just not having the most important position figured out. Though. I think then that's going to be we get a lot of coaches fired. That'd be we get you fired. It's that tiny little thing about not way. We just don't have a quarterback, man. If we can work with everything else here, man. Our guys come back here. We'll be back October-ish. October-ish, November. He'll be back.
Who's going to be back?
Penix. He'll be back October, November.
That's what you think. I mean, I've heard that, but then I've also heard, well, he may be gone the next year too. So I mean, I don't know what the
and also have we really seen anything there to really bank on that either way? You know what I mean? He was still kind of proving himself anyway, so we don't really even still know we have there, especially
if
you look at comparison to some of these other quarterbacks. Shador showed you something, Dart showed you something, Cam showed you something, and then you don't know who the Raiders are going to get, but at least you have that there, that high draft pick in hopes that person shows you something. So it'll be interesting. I like the Giants too. From looking at this list of the Giants, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Falcons, the Titans, the Raiders, I do like the Giants only because of the amount of skill positions they have figured out there. But there's a lot of question marks there too. So I like Tyrone Tracy. He's proven to be competent, but you need Scatterbo back. I like Scatterbo more. If they get Scatterbo, they get Dart back. But then they get Neighbors back. They get and I like that what their defense is. I think there's a nice budding team there, man.
They got good pieces. I don't think they're just not coached well on the defensive side. Unfortunately, you can run like yours or my grandmother could run through that line. They're not going to stop.
Goodness, no respect for Thibodeau, Burns, and none of those guys. No,
I don't have to look at their. I don't have to respect. I mean, I respect them, but their line is horrible. Like they cannot stop the run. So they like. But again, Harbaugh, defensive coach. He's not egotistical. He knows when. Hey, I need to bring in a better offense. That's the way. That's
is that what you thought Dayball's downfall was there?
Yeah, Dayball. Okay. There's nothing wrong. Again, we said this in the past, and that's the thing with Raheem. I think he's coach my defense, dude. Coach my defense. I will let you do that all day long. But you've kind of proven to me, you've been a head coach twice, and it hasn't worked out. But again, and would I be surprised if you see Raheem on any of these? I know he's getting interviewed for the Tennessee job, but if any of these teams need a defense coordinator, I'm not gonna be like, oh, shocker. If I saw him go to the Giants as a defense coordinator, I would not be surprised. It's like he's a good defense coordinator. Dayball, he's a good offensive coordinator. Now again, he might have a second chance and be a good coach. And again, I'm not gonna rate him on his first time coaching, but John, he knows how to coach. That's a difference. He knows when he knows what he's lacking, and he goes, "Hey, I need to bring in someone smarter on the offensive side than myself." But he knows how to game manage. So that's
18 years ended on a field goal, man. Pretty much, that's what people are saying,
right?
And even though it really wasn't literally, it's a situation where these things just don't happen based on 3 points, a 3-point swing or 1 game swing. These things build over time, but it's just a sense out there, and it's crazy for 18 years to boil down to that if that's true.
Yeah, and it's just, and I think there's a whole thing between. Again, we're still waiting for the article about and then Lamar. There was definitely some tension there.
I'm hearing that too. They're saying Lamar got him fired. I wonder how much is there smoke there? You think?
And 18 years is not a right. In 18 years, maybe a change of scenery is not a bad thing. It's like it's because he can go to another franchise and go, hey, I still got it. I can still do it. And I think that's the thing. I think he can do it.
I think he can too.
I think that's not. It's not like a Pete Carroll thing here. It's not like a Belichick thing.
Wouldn't that be crazy, man? Because I like you. If you come somewhere you coach, if you go somewhere and he coaches and he looks like a dinosaur, you're not getting much rope, man. Because they're looking at these young coaches, man. These owners are looking at these young coaches, man, and they're liking what they're seeing from a lot of these young guys. Look at these teams. Look at Seattle, right? Looking pretty good. But then you got your guys. You got the old guard still out here. Sean Payton is out here showing up, right? Vrabel out here showing up. So,
it's a good mixture, and I think he could fit right in. He's not a dinosaur. He's going to get it. He's going to go to a team, and he's going to make that franchise better. He's going to take that team to a playoff. And that's what he does. That's what him and Tomlin do. It's like those two guys have done it year after year after year. And the thing was, it's like I heard the thing meant that if they made that field goal, Tomlin would be the one we'd be talking about right now. So
I think it's ridiculous, by the way. Ridiculous. Blasphemy.
Yeah. But again, what happens if and probably when they go to playoffs and they get smoked? Do you start looking at Tomlin differently? That's the thing.
I think that when you just win games, I think that one of the things I love about the Steelers is that they are very calm. They're like the adult in a room organization to me. They're not out here making these wary changes just based on what fans may think one way or the other. They're out here. They have stability. There's stability the way they do things. When one of the shows I was just doing, somebody brought up the fact that Cowher didn't win until like 15 years, and the Steelers hung with him the whole time.
Right.
And he won a championship. You can be rewarded for your longevity rather than these revolving door coaches. Now, I do believe these coaches need to show you something. They need to be your teams need to be competing. You need to be able to put a competitive product on the field for your fans week after week. I do believe that. But at the same time, the whole we have to win everything or bust, and then you start firing coaches with great win percentages is ridiculous. And I wouldn't look at Tomlin any different. If 4 quarters of football wouldn't make me look at anybody any different. You were either a winning coach when you came here or you weren't. If you had other problems with ownership, or if you had other problems with just manage ownership, maybe just wanting a change of scenery, or you feeling like you had really lost the locker room, which is what I heard a lot of people say with John Harbaugh. If that's the case, then I think those chemistry issues maybe lead to these types of changes, and because they're separate from your result on the field. You know what I mean? These are kind of like, it's just time. Maybe we're not feeling having you around anymore. But it's unfortunate that 18 years does have the perception of coming down to something like this. But if that's the case, he had them right in the thick of it, right to the very end there, even given the fact that Lamar had missed games. And that doesn't, if we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, if we're going to talk about everything, but he's going to land on his feet. I don't think there's any worth shedding tears for any of these guys. He's going to land on his feet here somewhere. I hope it's here with the personally.
I'm right there. I'm hoping. I really am. I like I said, I don't want to come across like I don't want him here. I'm just thinking if I'm him, my age, that's where I will want to go. There's just unless
New
like
York.
he comes here and New York. Unless he comes here to Falcons and they just lay out, this is our blueprint. This is the GM we're going to bring in. He's going to work with you, and you're going to have a quarterback. Maybe not this year because you're not going to have one this year, but we're going to work on getting you one in the draft so you can build another winning team. And let's just face it, how that team is one of they just got the injury bug. Like it just seemed like last couple of years, man. Their defense was just getting just hammered on the injury side of it, and to like you said to almost make all they had to do was make that kick and they're in the playoffs. And how many games did Lamar miss and they still went out there and won without him. So kudos to him. That's all you can ask.
Just the stats. Reggie Johnson, Easy Board. Check us out. Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, as well as YouTube. See you next time, ladies and gents.